In this video, I'd like to look at an example of a case statement in a bash script. And so I decided to do this example of determining the sales tax depending on the state one is in. And then I had to do some little things to do the calculation on top of it and so on. Okay, so I am echoing out a prompt for somebody to enter the state code, for instance, PA for Pennsylvania. And then I'm reading in that variable and calling it state. And then here in line 4, I am capitalizing. So they can put in small p, small a, or capital P, small a, etc. And it's going to capitalize it. And I don't have to worry about stripping off any white space. Read does that sort of automatically. So read is sort of automatically sort of throwing away any leading or trailing spaces. So I brought in some state. Now, if they enter Pennsylvania spelled out or put in poop or anything like that, then I'm just going to get my default case. And we'll see that at the bottom of the case statement. But we'll assume for now that they put in a 2-letter code for a state, and it might be small letters, and we'll deal with that, and it might have some trailing space, and read will deal with that. Okay, so we're going to set the tax rate. I have a tax rate variable here, and I set it equal to 0 to start off with, and I am just announcing, just echoing out that the sales tax for that state is, and then I enter my case statement. So it has the keyword case. We'll see at the bottom of the case statement. I'll scroll down. It closes. There are a lot of states, 50 states, fewer cases, but the case statement finally ends in the spelled out word case backwards, and you get ESAC. So that's the beginning and end of the case statement. And the case statement is basically replacing a bunch of ifs, else ifs. And it's asking if the state is in various little lists. So I have these ordered in increasing state tax rates. So there are 5 states that have a 0 tax rate. What is that? Alaska, Delaware, Montana, New Hampshire, Oregon, I guess that is. And we have a single vertical bar between the cases that belong together. So, and then to sort of end that case is a double semicolon. So then the next case I have is Colorado, and its tax rate was 2.9. And so it's just the same structure over and over again. It might be a single state within that case, or it may be a set of states within that case. And if I have a set of states, they're separated by the vertical bar, and then the end of the things that establish the case is a parenthesis, closing parenthesis, and then do what I want to, whatever statements I want to do. I'm just establishing the tax rate here, and then double semicolon to end that particular case. And so I just have all my cases. Lots here. Here's the situation I'll be working with. I'm in PA, Pennsylvania. And so lots of states have 6% tax and on down. So California had the highest sales tax rate. Sometimes a city will add on. We're not doing any cities, we're just doing state. And California had the highest at 7.25. And then star parenthesis, this is the default case. So if the user of the script were to enter something that wasn't a state code, then I initially set the tax rate to 0. So I have a way to do the calculations that follow with 0 state tax, but I'm echoing out just this word unknown. So I'm just saying the state tax was unknown. Okay, then I'm echoing out the tax rate that I got from the case statement. And then I'm moving on to say how much I want to do the calculation for them as well, not just tell them the state tax, but do a calculation for them. So what was the amount before the state tax? So I'm prompting and reading in that amount, and then using BC to do calculations. Bash on its own doesn't like to do floating point calculations. So I'm sort of piping this into BC, and I don't want it sort of truncated to integers. So I have this minus L option here with BC, and I'm taking the amount and the tax rate and dividing the tax rate by 100 to get it into percent. And that will determine the tax. And then I'm sort of printing it out twice. So once I did this BC minus L thing, then I'm sort of dragging along as many decimal places as it wants. And so when I echo out, I'm going to see a bunch of decimal places. But if I use a printf style to display the result, then I can throw in some formatting. So this is sort of like a C style formatting. Percent is standing in for the variable. So I'm saying I'm printing out tax colon space and a $sign. And then percent stands for where the number is going to be pushed in. And then the 0.2f is telling it then I want 2 decimal places. And then I want the \n for a new line. So whereas echo has a built-in new line, printf does not. So if I want a new line, then I must request it. Okay. And then I did the calculation of the amount plus the tax, again, piping it into BC to perform the calculation that Bash won't want to do on its own, and then echoing and printing them out. So that is my script. I run my script. I'm going to space PA space to show I don't have to worry about the spaces. I don't have to worry about the small letters. It read automatically got rid of my spaces. I had the code to turn small PA into capital PA. It went through my case statement, found the case that corresponded to what the user entered, PA, and the state tax is 6. And I'm going to enter some amount of a bill, I don't know, 45.67, and then perform the calculations. So the tax is 2.7402, and then sort of rounding to 2 places, that's 2.74, and then adding that to the original amount is my sum, and then using printf, showing the sum with just 2 decimal places. So that's what I wanted to show you. Mainly, I was interested in the case statement. So case, the thing you're determining the case with, in this case, my variable $state, the keyword in, and then a bunch of explicit cases written out. If there is more than one value that leads to the same case and all belong to the same case, then they are separated by vertical bars. The end of the possibilities is a parenthesis, and then what I want to do in that case. And then when I'm done with that case, a double semicolon, and carry that on down. There was a default case, which was sort of this asterisk and parenthesis, and what I wanted to do there. And then finally, the whole case statement is ended by this ESAC, this case spelled backwards. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you in this example. So thank you very much for your attention.